Hey, how's it going? How's it going? How's everybody? Party people in a place to be. Let's get back into this. We are back out here in these real estate streets because we do. Okay. My name is Elisa Robinson. I am your favorite real estate diva. Today we're talking about funding. How you fund it. What you need to fund it. How do you get your real estate deals funded? Okay. We talk about it. Grab your papers and let's get into it. Now, what I want to talk about when I say what we're going to talk about as far as getting into funding, how can you get your real estate deals funded? How can you get loans from the bank? How can you get loans from private lenders? How can you get loans from hard money lenders? We're going to be talking about all types of funding. Okay. So with that being said, I hope you have your pens. I hope you have your papers. I hope you have your calculators. Well, you don't really need calculators today. I am to break them down to you, but I want you guys to understand that it's gonna take a minute. Okay, it's gonna be a minute, and we're gonna get into it because I want you guys to understand that it's easy to get funding for your real estate deals, and a lot of you are under the impression that funding requires credit, and it does in a lot of cases, just not this one. Okay, so when I say, oh, you want to get funded, this is what I mean. Funding is getting funded for your deals. So if anybody would like to, if you have any questions, make sure you always put them in the comments. We always say, put your questions in the comments, put your questions in the comments, put your questions in the comments, please. And thank you. I'm attaching the link to get funded to this so we can get started on that too. Now, if you are Creative Wealth Academy members, you will always get a copy of this. Oh, I don't want to share that. I don't want to share that either. Here we go. Share it there. Okay. And we're done. I don't know where I just shared this to, but okay. So when we talk about getting funding, today we're going to talk about what it takes to get funding, the basics. No matter where you're getting funding from, I'm going to tell you everything you need to get funded. Everybody with me? Say okay, okay, okay. If you see me, put a number 1 in the chat, in the comments. If you can hear me, if you can see me and hear me, put a number 2. Because some of y'all don't understand. Y'all don't see it. Y'all don't understand it. It's fine. So we're going to get into it. I just want to make sure I have everybody on. If you can see my pretty brown face, let me know. All right. I can see y'all too. So now what we're going to, like I said, what we're going to do today is we're going to be talking about funding. Funding. How you get funded, what you need to get funded, where you can get funded, all kinds of funding. Okay. Now, first of all, I'm going to tell you what you need. Why? Because no matter what type of funding, this is what you're going to need. I'll say it again. No matter what type of funding, this is what you're going to need. First things first, most hard money lenders, well, all hard money lenders, they will lend to businesses. Private lenders like to lend to businesses. Banks will lend to businesses, the right bank anyway. Okay. So what I wanted you guys to understand and know for a fact, I included the link so you guys can see what it takes to get funded. You can click the link and start putting your information at the bottom. If you have all this information, if you're ready to get funded for a real estate deal, fill out that form and I'll see what type of funding we can get for you. Okay. Now, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, divas and dudes, heifers and hustlers, let's get started. All right. Hey, Amber, how you doing, boo? So now, first things first, I just told you real estate funding and credit card funding or bank loan funding is totally different. Okay, let's talk about what you will need. First things first, you will need your business information because in my world, in my real estate world, and y'all know I partner with Credit Cleanse, and Kyra is one of my rapper. We like this, okay? And I hope she having safe travels. She's on her way to Turks and Caicos for the weekend. So now, what I want to tell y'all is this: the on the real estate side, we fund different, and we have different funding. So on my side of the tracks, we need you to have an LLC, an S corp, a C corp, whatever. You cannot have a DBA, and they don't like to put things in your name, your personal name. Okay. Can you put it in a trust? Yes, but the trust has to own an LLC, and the LLC has to own the property. You get what I'm So it's still the LLC. Okay. Now, first things first. So we need your articles of organization. Your articles of organization. This is the paperwork that you file. This is the paperwork you get from the state, from the Department of State, their corporations. When you go in there, you search your little name and you put it in, you file the paperwork to become a business. We need that paperwork. Banks are going to ask for it. Our money loan lenders are going to ask for it. Private loan lenders, private money lenders are going to ask for it. They want to make sure that you are an entity. So you are going to need your articles of organization. Because y'all like to y'all like to tussle with me over the simplest things. Now, can I help you set up? Yes. Yes, we can help you set that up. Now, another thing you're going to need is your operating agreement. Now, let me explain to you, because a lot of you like to tussle with me. Lisa, I don't need that. I'm just one person and I own my business. So I don't need an operating agreement. Yes, you do. Let me explain to you what an operating agreement is in the simplest, basic fifth grade term. Remember when using fifth grade, grammar school, elementary school, whatever y'all want to call it. Remember when you was in fifth grade and your school wanted to take you to the zoo, what they give you? You had to take it home. What they give you to take home to your parents? A permission slip. That is what your operating agreement is for your business. Even though once you form a business, that business becomes its own entity. That business is a person. Just so you get an idea what I'm talking about. Okay, that business becomes a person. So when that business becomes a person, you need permission to do anything with that business. So you need an operating agreement. That's why you need one. I didn't think I needed one either until I started buying real estate in my business name. And my attorney said, yo, homegirl, hold up. Shout out to Rick, because Rick Borman was the attorney that told me I needed it. So I've always remembered this from day one. So since that, and I'll never forget, we were in County Hall at a closing. He said, Delisa, I don't have your operating agreement. So as most good lawyers do, he wrote me up one real quick so I could close my deal. So that's what you do. So you need an operating agreement. Your operating agreement is your business permission slip. It gives you, the owner, permission to conduct business on behalf of the business. So that's why you need it. It is a permission slip for your business. If you are in partnership with some other people, you definitely need it, because you need to know who's doing what, who gave what, who's entitled to what, and why. Okay. So this operating agreement, even if you are a single owner, you're an individual owner, single owner, whatever you want to call yourself, you're a single owner of an LLC, S Corp, C Corp, you need an operating agreement. If you are unsure about how to write that up. Believe me when I'm telling you, ChatGPT is a mean thing. Okay. Go in there, describe your business, tell them what you want to do. Hey, and like I said, if you want to do it yourself, if you don't want to do it yourself, you can always, holler at the girl. I have a person on my team who does the LLCs and will write up the operating agreements and everything else. And she charges. So no, nothing in this world will be free, but she does charge. Now, if you are in the Creative Wealth Academy, we will help you we will help you file your LLC paperwork. We even put people in place to help you do your trust. So trust me, that's what the Creative Wealth Academy is all about. So for those of you who are you're in, well, I'm sorry, not Creative Wealth Academy, the 7-Figure Portfolio Builder. Creative Wealth Academy, it's in there how to do it, but you guys have to do that on your own. So the first thing I got to tell you guys is this. So you need your articles of organization. You need your operating agreement. Okay? Articles of organization, operating agreement. Now, articles of organization forms the entity. The operating agreement gives the owner permission to conduct business on behalf of the entity. Even when you sign your name, and I can show you some documents that I had to recently sign. When you sign your name, you just don't sign your name. You sign your name on behalf of, you sign your name for, and then you put the name of the business. Because you are signing it on behalf of this business, okay? Because a lot of y'all be sitting there looking at me like I'm crazy. When that's really not. I'm really not, okay? Yes, no, maybe so? All right. Now, if you're still with me, put a 1 in the chat so we can keep going. Remember, we are talking to you on how to get funded, okay? Third thing you need, number 3. And for all you Illuminati haters, this is a 3, not the whole, whatever y'all call it, okay? Now, the third thing you need is the SS4. And SS4 is the paper that the IRS will send you. It's the official paper that the IRS will send you, and they're only going to send it to you once. They're going to send it to you, and it has your EIN on it. So after you go to irs.gov, what did I just say? When you go to irs.gov and you file your paperwork for your entity to come in, that's that paper. Okay? All right. Now, guess what that is? I'm gonna keep it real with you, and I'm gonna tell you how it is. That's Social Security card for your business. You know how you keep your Social Security card in your safe in a fireproof box in your wallet? Some of y'all keep it in your wallet for some ungodly known reason. And that's what the SS4 is. The SS4 is the Social Security card for your business. So you're supposed to keep that somewhere safe. I'm going to tell you what you must do, should do, better do. Scan it into your iCloud if you have iPhones and Apple products or whatever. Scan it into your cloud. You should have a folder with all of your docs in it. So when anybody's asking you for that information, you can just send it. Okay? Y'all with me? Y'all better say y'all with me, because I don't know if you're with me or not. I'm just saying it. So this is what you're going to need. Now, another thing you're going to need. So you need I'm going over it. The first thing you needed was what? Your articles of organization. This is the paperwork you filed with the state, and they sent you the information. You only need the first 2 pages to send to the bank, because they don't want to see all of it. They just want to know that you got one. Okay? So you need your articles of organization. You also need what? Your permission slip. What's your permission slip? Your operating agreement. Okay? So you need your operating agreement. Y'all think I'm crazy, but I'm telling you this. Y'all think, go all there and get funny without any of this stuff and watch you get declined, okay? Now, third thing you need is your SS4. This is your Social Security card for your business. There's your EIN on it. comes from the IRS, and it only comes once. Can you request another copy? Yeah, but you might have to pay for it. Can you, and it's going to take forever to get it because you're going to have to prove that it's you that's asking for it. I'm not going to send it again. So you need to download it. If they email it to you or give it to you and say, hey, you can use this link to download it, or they're going to put it in the mail. Either way, I scan mine into my computer. Easy. So it's in my cloud. I always know I have it. I always know where it is. I have the original somewhere in a folder in the fireproof box that we keep all our documents and stuff in around here. But I keep it. And like I said, I have a folder with all of my business paperwork in it. So if somebody was to ask me right now, hey, I need your information to get you funded, I know how to just send it over. Okay? Next, number 4. We are on number 4. Another thing you are going to need is a bank account. Bank account. No, not your personal bank account, not your baby daddy bank account, not your kids' trust fund bank account, none of that. You need a business bank account. The business bank account. Thank you, Amber, for putting that in the comments. I appreciate it. A business bank account. This is you're going to take the articles of organization, the operating agreement, and the SS4 to the bank, and you're going to open up a business bank account. You need a business bank account. I'm going to say this again. You need a business bank account. Okay? All right. All right? Y'all honestly don't know. Y'all think I'm joking about, but I'm telling y'all what y'all need. I need a business bank account. Now, another thing that you will need is we're going to need your business address. Now, I know for a fact we don't tell each other plenty of times. You can do a virtual address. Yes, you can do a virtual address, or you can do a virtual office, or you can do whatever. Just try not, when you're setting up your business, you should never use your home address. That will stop you from getting funded, because the first thing, a lot of these lenders will Google your address. Y'all like, wait a minute, what? They will? Yes, they will. Okay. They will. Okay. Now, you're going to need a business phone number. Not a Google number. Don't do Google. Now, I have a Google number for my tenants, but not, and I use it all over my social media. But I'm being honest, 9 times out of 10, it's going to end up leaving a message. So you need a business bank account, and you need a bank account, a business address, a business, and a business phone number. What else do you need? You're going to need a professional email or website. You're going to need a professional email or website. If you're a new business and you haven't established yourself as a business yet, and you don't have a website, at least get business email. They literally cost like maybe $10, maybe $12 a month. And you can have Delisa@tag716.com, or you can have, jbrown@abcrealty.com, whatever it is that you come up with for your tag. But you can go to GoDaddy. If you're a small business and you're just starting out, I have a guy on my team who can do a quick website for you so that you have it, and they will also monitor everything. And they don't even charge, they charge less than $1,000 to get it done. Yeah, they do. They really do. So if anybody need a business website, I'll let your girl, and I'll refer you to my guy. Okay. All right. Now, what else do you need? Because you are a business, you will need some type of business payment process. So you will need a Stripe account. You will need Square. You will need PayPal. Now, Delise, why would I need that? Because first of all, hello, you're in real estate. At some point in time, somebody's going to have to send you money. You're going to have to send somebody money. And I guarantee you have to run around here playing with these, as my dad used to call them, coffee dog, as my dad used to call them, little J contractors around here that's not licensed, not insured, don't have cash app, don't have nothing. And here, and y'all can do business with cash app when you shouldn't. So that's why you need a PayPal account. Now, here's why. With PayPal, you can create invoices. With Stripe, you can create invoices. With Square, you can create an invoice and you can pay it. Okay. Now, with those accounts and your business bank account, and some banks allow you to Zelle in and out of your business bank account. Yeah, I know that, did y'all? They do. A lot of them allow you to Zelle in and out of your business bank account. So Zelle is not a payment processor. Zelle is a payment receiver or payable. It is not. And I have tenants that Zelle me their rent. I have tenants that Cash App me their rent. I have tenants that will PayPal me their rent. And I have tenants who will use my property management software and they will pay their rent online with their credit cards. Because we, over here in my world, we don't accept cash. We don't accept cash. We don't accept checks. It's either order, if you're walking, if you're handing it to me, so it's got to be in the form of a money order, or you can go online and pay it. You can Zelle or you can Cash App. We make it convenient, so you can't say we don't make it convenient. Okay. All right. Now, you need a payment processor. I said that right. Every business, and what I'm giving you right now, this is for any business, but especially for us. Okay, now, next that you will need if you are going to be in business and you have to get get funded. Okay, next, you're going to need a property that's under contract. What? Yep. You're going to need a property that's under contract. Y'all okay with that? Y'all know this? Y'all got this? What we doing? Okay. You're going to need a property, a fully executed contract. Okay, that's when I PayPal, which is the best option for beginners. I'm going to tell you Stripe or PayPal is better. So Stripe will convert, and I'm just telling you what I use. I have Stripe and I have PayPal. PayPal is acceptable in 165 countries. Stripe allows you to create invoices. We're back to the payment processor right now, for those of you who may not understand what we're doing. Stripe allows conversion, so from one foreign entity into American dollars. They do the conversion rates for you, so you don't have to worry about that. And we have So Stripe is acceptable in over 165 countries. PayPal, PayPal. Stripe you can create an invoice to be paid by credit card. In PayPal does that too, but you have to do these under your business name when you go to register for these, and they're free. They charge you a service when people make payments. They charge. I had somebody pay for the boot camp that's coming up. For those of you who don't know, we have I have a wholesaling boot camp coming up. It starts July 1st. So if you're interested, let me know. And because I'll tell you more about that at the end. I want to try and get through everything that you guys need to get funded, because it just don't make sense. Okay? It makes sense. If it don't make dollars, then it don't make sense. I'm gonna just say that. So what we're doing is we have so then we have you needed your articles of organization, operating agreement, SS4, bank account, business address, business phone number, payment processor, and you need a business email. I did say business email before payment processor. This all makes you look extremely legit, okay? So payment processor, Stripe or PayPal, those are the ones that I prefer. Now, do you have to do them that way? No, you don't have to do it that way at all, but you can, all right? So payment processor. Now, another thing that we will need, okay, I don't need that. Let me see, hold on 1 second. Nope, that ain't it. I'm trying to put my other list to make sure I got everything, because I don't want to miss anything. And y'all be like, "Hey, you didn't tell me I needed this." Y'all be looking at me like I'm crazy. Here it is. That's what I was looking for. Okay, so now we said what? LLC documents, EIN paperwork. You're going to need a driver's license, your state issued ID, because banks will ask you to prove you are who you say you are, especially if you have that if you go to the bank and you want to open up an account, you're going to have to show that you are the person that the business gave the permission to. So you're going to need your ID. You're going to need the purchase and sale agreement, a fully executed property contract in order to get real estate funding, not funding. And I know a lot of you that follow me, you also follow Kyra, and she can get you funded. She's getting you funded in the form of loans. She's getting you funded in the form of credit cards. I am getting you funded to purchase a property. So I need to get you funded to this way. So you need to have the purchase and sale agreement. Okay. In order to get funded, you're going to have property insurance. Now, let me go over this. Okay. Property insurance. Notice I didn't say homeowners insurance. I said property insurance. There are so many different types of property insurance for business, for real estate investors, and there's different kinds of property insurance that you need to have. And the reason why you need to have this is because you don't want to mess this up. If you do not have your property properly insured, you will, and something happens, you can be denied your coverage. So let's revisit this. If you are living in the property, so you're buying a home, but it's under renovation, you're going to live in this property, you bought it with a mortgage from a traditional bank, credit, or credit union, you have to have homeowners insurance with a builder's risk rider. Okay. Now, if you are going to buy this property to flip, you need builder's risk insurance. Now, and I'm gonna go back because I know a couple of you are in Black Girls in Real Estate, and we saw a couple of months where Janine's property, her property that she had under construction caught fire. She had a builder's risk policy for that reason. You have a builder's risk policy for theft and crime and vandalism. You have a builder's risk policy for fire and water damage. because a lot of you guys are going to be flipping houses in the Midwest and in the South, and y'all get hurricane tornadoes like this going out of style. So you will need a builder's risk policy. They are a little more expensive because you're only going to have it for a short period of time. That's why they're so expensive. Okay. Now, and if you buy it for 6 months and you only need it for 3 months, yeah, they will refund you the difference and blah, blah, blah. Or they might make it transferable to your next project so you don't have to come out of pocket that money again. There's a lot of different ways that you would just have to build a relationship with what the same thing we're going to be talking about later on is your team, your insurance agent on your team. You need to have that one insurance agent that you know can go through. And we used to have one, her name was Randa, but I think Randa retired. She's like, I ain't messing with y'all no more. So she's done. And she used to do New York State and some other states. So Randa was cool, but she's gone. She ain't messing with us. She's like, bitch, I'm out. Now, another thing that you're going to need is you need to know your credit score. They're going to run it. They might do a soft pull. They might do a hard pull. I'm not exactly sure anymore because it is what it is. So you want to have all of this in here. That's not what we need. Okay. So you need property insurance. Now you have homeowners insurance. You have a builder's risk policy. Then you have a landlord's insurance for rental properties. These are for properties that you own. They're fully occupied, but you don't live in them. You need to have these types of insurance. Why do I need these types of insurance, Elisa? Because it may have the wrong insurance and something happens to your property. Because a lot of y'all like to get slick. Oh, I'm going to get homeowners insurance on my rental property. Okay, go ahead. And let that agent find out that you don't live there. Find out. Let's find out. You know what they say, FAFO. You're gonna be stuck. You're gonna be mad. A lot of y'all like to bypass insurance altogether. I don't understand why, but you do. Don't do that either. Okay? All right. Now, then we have, I stated your credit score. Y'all thought this was a game. I keep trying to tell y'all, it's not that fun. Real estate, the way I tell you to do real estate, I'm gonna tell you the right way. I'm not cutting no corners. I'm not playing no games. We're gonna do this the right way, or we're just not gonna do it. And the reason for that is because I don't want you out here in these streets getting stuck, and then you're not able to, and then you lose focus. You lose something. You lose your money. You lose your money. You lose your time. You lose a lot. Okay, and you lose a property. So I tell you to do it the right way. I've already these things. I've been doing this now off and on, and more on than off for the last 27 years. So I'm telling you how to do this. I've already made the mistakes. Trust me. I'm out here and I'm talking to you because it's me. Y'all know me. And I'm telling you how to do this so that you don't run into an issue or a problem in the near future where something doesn't wash right. Okay? So believe me when I tell you, I'm here for the people. Okay, I'm trying to get y'all into this so that you don't end up out here assed out, as my mom used to say. Assed out with nothing. Okay? Y'all good? Happy? Y'all all right? Everybody good? Everybody perfect? We're gonna do this the right way. Okay, now I'm just double checking. Oh, I'm sorry. Another thing you're gonna need. Once you get all of this and you start getting into the nitty-gritty, you're gonna need what we call a scope of work. Or you will hear me a lot say your construction budget. If you hear me say construction budget, you hear somebody else say scope of work, it's the same thing. Okay, it's the same thing. You're going to need your scope of work or your construction budget. And it's usually going to be an Excel spreadsheet. If you are a part of the Gang Creative Wealth Academy or my one-on-one 7-figure portfolio builder momentum masterclass. It's a lot, right? Momentum masterclass, as we call it. And we're going to need your scope of work. We have that template already built in. Now, another thing I want you guys to understand, this is one thing, and I'm gonna switch to the flipper hat real quick. When you are flipping houses, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, divas and hustlers, make sure you include budget for landscaping. Or if there's a deck or a porch and you know it needs to be fixed, don't just say, oh, we're going to tear it down. Make sure you have budget for that. Because I'm going to tell you what used to happen to me. I create my budget, send it to my lender, and my lender used to kick it back. And they've increased everything on the budget, saying that this is what we for this in this state. And a lot of lenders will do that. They'll kick it back to you and say, no, we had to increase your budget. Especially because and mind you, I already had contingency built into my budget in every single category. And then I always include a contingency in my budget. And then they still would kick it back. You know, it wasn't enough. So now they're giving me more money than I actually needed because I know what I'm paying. You know what I'm saying? So once you've done 2, 3, 4, start getting the hang of it, you're going to start looking at it and say, okay, this gets easier. You're going to start, and I'm going to tell you guys, if you really want to start flipping houses, get familiar with construction costs. The one trick I've learned, and I didn't learn this until maybe 8 years ago. So now, mind you, I just told you, I've been doing this for 27 years. I just learned this 8 years ago. I no longer will ask for a construction budget from my contractor that includes my materials. I buy my own materials. And I'm gonna tell you why. I get my materials way cheaper than what my contractor is gonna get them for, in most cases. Now, sometimes I'll say, hey, what's your guy doing with drywall? And if he say his guy is doing $10 a board, I'm going with his guy. He said his guy is doing $20 a board, I'm going with my guy. I have a pro account at probably every single materials building store you can think of. I have a pro account. What does the pro account get me? The more materials I order through pro, the bigger my discount. I get discounts on paint. I get discounts on drywall. And I'm gonna just tell y'all now, if you have a pro account at Home Depot, and probably Lowe's too. If you have a home, I don't know about Lowe's because I use Home Depot more than Lowe's sometimes. But if you have a pro account at Home Depot, they will, as long as you order over $2,500 worth of materials, you can run it through the bid room. This is where you submit it and they will come back and they'll knock more money off. So yeah, just a heads up. Thought I'd give y'all something for free. Okay. And another thing you're going to need, you flipped houses before, you're going to need written proof of your experience. So I call it the real estate resume. I call it a real estate resume. Y'all hear me say, I call it a real estate resume. So this is where, if you've done wholesaling before, a lot of wholesalers will get a HUD-1, so that you can show that's on the closing. Okay, so you can prove, this is how you prove how much money you made this year and this, that, whatever. In case the IRS ever come back to you, you can say, hey, I didn't make $50,000 on this. I only made this because I paid this person. This is why my JV partners get 1099s at the end of the year, because I'm not getting stuck. You get that? Okay. Now, being honest, my JV partners get 1099 at the end of the year. And if I'm planning on ever working with you again, you will get your 1099 at the end of that transaction. That's how you know if we're going to continue working together or not. So, yeah, I know it's horrible, but what do you want to do? So that's what you need. You need those, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 items. That's what you need to get funded. Now, a lot of that you're going to need to get funded in any business. I'm sorry, you're going to need, it's 11 things. I forgot identity, ID, your ID. Okay, you're going to need this information. So just, and I'm not going to recap it because, like I said, we done went through this like a million times today already. And I know for a fact one of my Momentum Masterclass people is waiting for her onboarding packet. So I got to get that sent to her too. Even though I don't know, I think she should have got it, but it should have went out automatically. But who knows if it did or not? My system is acting real. So if you guys have any questions regarding how to set up your business, things that are needed in order for you to get funded. Now we've talked about what you need to get funded. Now we're going to talk about why you need the funding. Okay. There is not one person in this entire world that I've ever known that didn't need funding for a real estate deal. Not one. Not one. Now keep in mind, when you do loans in your business name, they do not appear on your personal credit bureau report or CBR, my collector people. It does not appear on your credit report because that is in the name of your business. That's why you have a business, so you can protect yourself. Now you may be, in case you may be asked to personal guarantee. That's when you decide if you want to use your credit score and your guarantee loans. That happens mostly on the credit card and personal loan side, not on the real estate side. Real estate loans don't show. Okay? All right. There's something on my face. What else? I'm trying to make sure I don't miss a question. Because okay, I knew that was going to be the person. Okay, so that's where we're at. So we need our the last things that talked about was a payment processor, because your people are going to have to pay you rent. So you want to make that. You want to make sure you have your business bank account, business email, property insurance, real estate resume, and on your real estate resume, if you've never done a deal, so say you're a wholesaler, put that in there. So you can do it. This is why people do partnerships sometimes, because if they're new, but if you're a new person, you got a great credit score, trust me, there are loans out there. I have loans available for new investors who've never done a deal before. I have lenders that will approve you. I have lenders that will approve you if you've done a million, gazillion deals before. So it doesn't matter. Trust me, we can get you funded. That's all I need to say. We can get you funded. I have some lenders who will give you 80%, 80, 20, 90, 10, 75, 25, or 100%. I have people who will give you 55, 65. I mean, 55, 45. It depends on where you are, what you do, and your personal report will be ran, but it's only ran to see what your score is so they can give you your terms. It does not mean the loan is going to go on your credit report. Okay? All right, pumpkins? All right. Now, if you guys, I'm going to open this up for questions. If you guys have any questions on what you need to get funded, what you need to get funded, we've gone over it. We have like 13 different things on here. And the why do you need funding? Everybody who ever gotten into real estate investing is going to need funding at some point in your life. If you got $1 million in the bank, do you want to put $1 million? You do want to take that $1 million out of the bank and put it into real estate, or do you want it to sit in the bank and take money out of and borrow the money based on how much you got in the bank? We have some lenders who, if you got 500,000 in the bank, they'll give you 2.5 million loan. You got 50,000, they'll give you a 250,000 loan. It's just how it works. So you got to have this. Now, some other things you're going to need to get funded, just miscellaneous things, just so you guys know. And this is more on the mathematical side. So I'm going to start this and we'll probably finish it up. I want to say tomorrow, but I know I have a meeting tomorrow morning, so maybe Sunday. And if we do Sunday, might be Sunday morning. Okay. You want to have cash reserves. Cash reserves. Why do I need cash reserves, Elisa? I heard the guy on Instagram only tell me I need 20% down. He's right. You need 20% down if you got an 80-20 loan. Because that 80%, they're going to cover 80% of the purchase price, 80% of the renovations, and you're going to pay the other 20%. Okay? So yeah, you're right. You only need 20% with that. However, you need more than that because you need cash reserves. Some lenders want you to prepay your monthly payments at closing, so you don't have any loans. Some lenders will say, hey, you know what? You don't have any payments due until you close and flip the loan, and then you just pay us back with our interest. Some lenders will say you need money to start the job. Well, they all say that. You're going to need money to start the job because loans are given to you on a draw basis. You get what I'm saying? If you don't understand what a draw means, I'll tell you. So on your scope of work, your construction budget, you're going to have everything that you plan to do with this house and how much you plan to do with how much it's going to cost you and all this other stuff, A, B, C, elemental P. Okay? You're going to put that, you're going to send that to your lender. Your lender is going to approve it. The lender approves it. The first phase of a flip, and a lot of people will say, oh, it's demolition. No, it's not. No. The first phase of a flip, especially if you plan on knocking out walls and rearranging walls and all this other stuff, you're going to have a floor plan. You have to have floor plans drawn up. Usually that's an architect, so you're going to need that fee. You're going to need permits. You have to have permission from the city, and city inspectors come in and out. You're going to have an inspection on the property because a lot of hard-money lenders or lenders period will not loan you money to renovate a property if that property is not structurally sound. So you might have to do that. You have to have money up front for, like I said, incidentals. You have to have money to get your job started. So if my first phase is permits, demo, I usually put demo in my first phase, but it's all the admin stuff, the plans and all that other stuff. That's the first part of it. And you want to get reimbursed for that. So I usually have anywhere between $5,000 to $10,000 on reserve so I can get my project going. Yep. Then you need to pay your contractor because they want a deposit too, right? Unless you got a great contractor that's going to front the project because they know they're getting paid on the back end. And that's usually how you have to do it. That's definitely how you have to do it if you have a 401k. No, a 203k, an FHA 203k loan. Your contractor has to front that money. You don't front it. But on the real estate investor side, you front that money and then you get reimbursed from the bank. So if I'm in my first phase, I'm going to do all my demo, my permits. I'm knocking out all the walls and redoing the floor plan. So I'm going to need an architect. And my rough works, which is my electrical, my plumbing. And I'm going to go over this again when I start talking about flipping houses, which I'm going to be talking about because I'm getting ready to flip one. Electrical, plumbing, and HVAC, roof, if needed, windows, and doors. That's a lot in the first phase. So I have to have money to pay for all that. So if I gut a house down to the studs and I know it's 1,500 square feet, it's gonna cost me at least 10,000 to get the electrical done. It's gonna cost me another 5 to 10 to get the plumbing done. It's gonna cost me anywhere between 2,500, depending on if the vents and the ductwork needs to be replaced. It's gonna cost me anywhere between 25 and 7,500 for the HVAC. So you see how much cash reserves I need? That's about 27,500 max. That's almost $30,000. Where are you getting that from? Plus the 20% down that I'm gonna need is just for round numbers because y'all know me. I'm bad at math half the time. So if it's $50,000 purchase, $50,000 worth of work, which we know is gonna be more than $50,000 worth of work because I got $2,700, $27,000 in just rough works. So say it's a $75,000 purchase and $100,000 worth of work. That's gonna have me at this is why y'all need calculation, y'all mess around with me. So if I got $100,000 worth of work and a $75,000 purchase, that's 175. Y'all talking about you only need 20%, so I only need 35,000 down. This is why a lot of coaches will tell you when you say, "Oh, I need a coach to help me flip this house." You have at least $25,000 in cash. If you don't, you're not ready to flip a house. They say, "Well, people say they will give you 100%." Yeah, they can give you 100% financing, but you still have to come up with the money to do this stuff. So if all of this is 27, now say that's like I said, that's $27,000, 27,500. Give them all the money up front? No. I split mine up in threes. I give a deposit. When they're halfway done, I give another one. When it's finished and I can do my final walkthrough, I sign off on the last check or the last balance transfer. That's it. I do it that way. And I have incentives in my contract. If they finish early, they get a bonus. They finish late, they get penalized. And money comes off that budget. So there's a lot of different ways that you can do that. And that's why I said we go in depth in it when we start talking about the house. But that's what I want you guys to understand. I want you guys to realize that you're going to need more than 20%. So you're going to need cash reserves. So if my mortgage payment on this house is $1,000 a month, they want me to have $3,000. They want me to have 3 months worth of payments. I need another $3,000. So that's $30,000, $30,500 right there, just that I need in reserve. Plus the 20%, which was 35,000. So immediately you're at 65,500 that you need for this house. So people ask me, well, why do you tell people to wholesale first so you can get the money? Everybody tell you need this money, and they never tell you how to get it. So you can get the money. That's why. That's why you wholesale. Try funds that you're going to need in order to do this house. Okay? All right, pumpkins? All right. I'm going to get up out of here. Want to know why? Because I got to get ready to get on a coaching call, which I normally don't do coaching calls on Fridays. But for some reason, I allowed somebody to sneak in there because my calendar is usually blocked out. But I'm excited about what's to come. I'm excited about the deals. I'm excited about, I want to say shout out to all my people who joined the Momentum Masterclass, which is my 7-figure portfolio builder program. I got a couple of young ladies. We have one who applied for funding today. We have another one who's getting ready to start opening up her LLC so she can get funding. We're pulling equity out of another person's house. And I have another client who's buying up property from a family member that they no longer want. So we get ready to do this, and I'll be posting everything else. And I'm going to be flipping a house. I'm going to be flipping my house, the house that I live in. I'm going to be flipping it, and I'm going to take you guys through this step by step. All of that's going to be on YouTube, though. So get ready for it because it's coming. I'm going to flip everything in this house from the roof to the basement and the yard and the garage. I've decided to no longer use my garage as a garage. I'm going to use it. I'm going to create a boom boom room for my kids because they smoke and I don't. so they can't smoke in my house. So you need to be there. And then not only that, when we have guests over in the summertime, we're out. If it rains, we got a little clubhouse we can go to and hang out in. Some turn a two-car garage to a playhouse, basically. That's what my granddaughter called it. So I'm going to be doing this piece by piece, layer by layer. Like I said, I'm going to be putting all this together. And I'm going to have my homeboy, Omri. Shout out to Omri if he sees this. If he's on here now or if he sees it later. Let me do all the film and putting together, editing stuff and putting everything out on the YouTube channel. So look out for it because it's coming. All right. Already, thank you so much for joining in. Always and always, 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 when I tell you, if this is your first time, don't let it be your last. And if you've been here before, thank you so much for always coming out and supporting and learning the lessons that I've already taught, that I've already been taught. So you don't have to make those mistakes anymore. If you can choose, and I tell everybody this, you can choose to be anything you want in this world. I just hope you choose to be kind, because at some point in your life, somebody's been kind to you. And it's good to just pay that kindness forward. Not only does it make you a good person, but if we all did it, make the world a much better place. And after, things that have been in the news these past few weeks, we can all use some more kindness in this world, I'm sure. All right. Now, don't forget, my name is Lisa Ramos. I am your favorite real estate diva out here in these real estate streets. I've been slutting it up out here in these streets for the past 27 years. I'm proud because I do a little bit of everything. But the most important thing I do is I've already made the mistakes so that you don't have to. All right. I will talk to you guys later. I will be on maybe tomorrow. Tomorrow's Saturday, right? Yeah, Saturday. I may be on tomorrow and we'll get more into funding, because that is the most important piece. I put a poll up in my Black Women Invest in Real Estate group, and everybody decided they wanted to know how to get funded. So that's what we're doing. So if you have any other further questions regarding how to get funded, you can use the links that I've dropped in the comments on YouTube and Facebook so that you can apply for funding. It's an intake form so you can get funded. And if you are on Instagram, but you're interested in getting funded for your first or your next real estate project, just shoot me a DM and I'll be more than happy to send you the link. All right. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I'm out of here. Thank you so much for happy Friday.